This is the Renegade teacher blasting out with another transmission. Folks, I am excited to have you on board again tonight as we continue our journey through space on that quest for rationality in public education. Folks, tonight I have quite the lineup as we're hitting our midweek. I thought it would be good to revisit an idea that I kind of founded the channel on, and that was looking at some buzzwords in education. And today I've picked out for you flipped classroom. Again, flipped classroom. I investigated the term here on Wikipedia and thought that I would bless you with a description of a flipped classroom, and we'll explore this idea together. I haven't read through it in too much detail, but here we go. It says a flipped classroom is an instructional strategy and a type of blended learning that reverses the traditional learning environment by delivering instructional content, often online, outside of the classroom. It moves activities, including those that may have traditionally been considered homework, into the classroom. In a flipped classroom, students watch online lectures, collaborate in online discussions, or carry out research at home while engaging in concepts in the classroom with the guidance of a mentor. So we're off to a decent start here. We can tell that we are already working on removing the teacher from the process of giving any content delivery. I'll go on. It says in the traditional model of classroom instruction, the teacher is typically the central focus of a lesson and the primary disseminator of information. It goes on here. I'm not going to continue that paragraph because it is giving a description of how education has worked for a very long time. Here it switches over. It says the flipped classroom intentionally shifts instruction to a learner-centered model in which time in the classroom is used to explore topics in greater depth and create meaningful learning opportunities, while students are initially introduced to new topics outside of the classroom. In a flipped classroom, content delivery may take a variety of forms. Often, video lessons prepared by the teacher or third parties are used to deliver content. Although online collaborative discussions, digital research, and text readings may be used. It has been claimed that the ideal length for a video lesson is 8 to 12 minutes. Folks, this is even more confirmation that education has been destroyed from within by this quackery, this idea that all learning needs to be broken up into these tiny segments and delivered to students in the easiest access way possible, the most comfortable way possible for students. This all digital input, when they are inundated by digital input for the majority of their day. Again, not all students, but most of them are completely overwhelmed with the input happening to their brains by having all this social media and constant exposure to the devices. This is a sickening article. I'm not sure I want to go on with it. Honestly, it kind of brought up some acid into my esophagus as I try to process how we've gotten so lost. This is sad. This is absolutely sad. So the buzzword for today, flipped classroom, add it to your list. Folks, I'm going to move on for the main topic tonight, and I perhaps have steered us in a questionable direction, However, I'm going to go for it here. I want to dive into outlandish student behaviors, things that I have witnessed over the last several years start to develop in the youth. And having worked in multiple schools, I'm now comfortable talking about it more and bringing it out in the open. We have a population, and again, I may speak in hyperbole here. Please realize I understand there are exceptions to a lot of this, but I'm speaking to the majority. I'm speaking about the majority. But most of our high school students nowadays, they are acting like, and at a maximum, 6th or 7th graders. It's absolutely hilarious, if it weren't so frustrating. The behaviors like using a backpack or a sweater to attempt to hide a smartphone, the copying of work in front of a teacher. There's no shame. Students have no filter in terms of any kind of trying to hide anything anymore. They're completely out of control in terms of their confidence levels. This may in the end simply turn out to be a giant rant about future potential rant topics and stories that I have. The level of how out of control parenting has gotten. Students nowadays have absolutely no idea how to request makeup work, or even communicate with a teacher verbally in an appropriate fashion, or God forbid, write an email to a teacher in the format of a text message. I mean, it is completely out of control, folks. The drawing and doodling that we see on exams, it's how in the world we have young people that are sleeping while they're awake. Again, there's no shame. As an educator, you end up having to repeat the same thing 5 or 6 times. Due dates are a thing of the past. As we've discussed previously, teachers are forced to accept late work. Due dates are mere suggestions. Their students bring teachers work that was due weeks or days or weeks ago and expect it to be graded immediately and put into the system so that their parents will not take away their smartphone or anything like that. It's unbelievable, folks. It's completely out of control how our youth is arriving to their high school grades, and they are mental infants in terms of how to conduct themselves. Do not tell me that it has always been this way. You have, if you think that, you are lost. You can't tell me what I have witnessed the last 8 years isn't real. We have students that are so lost in terms of what is appropriate and what is not, that they are asking for help on test questions during an exam, as if somehow we've lost what an exam is. Folks, I have had students, and I know I have colleagues in multiple schools who have this same experience. We have students who will, in the middle of a lesson, ask a teacher if they would like to buy something from their fundraiser. I'm not joking. This is not satire. This is a red alert situation. If we don't turn it around, if we can't refocus the system on addressing some of the major issues that parenting and society at large has dropped the ball on, it's game over. We have students that think that they are invisible, that no one can see them. It's so shocking. And you know, a lot of times the most I hesitate to go here, folks. I hesitate to go here, but the monster parents. If you're one of the parents that group emails all of your child's teachers, please stop. Please realize that what you're doing is extremely selfish. There is no one email that all of your child's teachers needs to read that is not coming from the department within the school that it should be coming from. No group emails from parents work because the teachers are so overwhelmed that they do not have the time to dedicate in terms of reading all these group emails and tracking who they affect and who they don't. Give me a break. I know you may not realize this, but you are a monster. Stop it. Stop being a monster and go through the child's appropriate channels here. It's so unbelievable, folks. We have students that think they are smarter than the teachers. This is the end game, folks. This is the end of our society. We have students that are being told as children, via directly or indirectly, that you are smart. Your opinion automatically matters. You do not have to earn it. There's far too much instant gratification being endorsed in the homes of America, and it is causing the education system to collapse because everything that could be done to mitigate the damage is not being done, or it's being done in a way that demonstrates a huge amount of inability to adapt from above, in terms of policymakers. We have these helicopter parents that are raising children where everyone is expected to get a trophy. There is no objective reality. This is honestly, folks, the end of everything. This is the organic, gluten-free people that do not question. They do not question the assumptions. They believe what they want to believe. This is the end of expertism, and as teachers, as content specialists and content experts, we are in a crisis situation in this country. Our students have become uneducatable, and again, I speak to the majority. There are a lot of brilliant young people who are doing a great job, but the majority of our youth are completely corrupted by too much information. They do not have the appropriate filters or skills to evaluate the sources of information, and we have enough adults, folks, enough adults that are completely lost in terms of having no critical thinking skills. Reality itself is in question. Science is under attack, and it is losing, folks. It is losing because misinformation and pseudoscience is spreading now at an exponential rate due to social media. All of the advances that science has brought us in terms of technology are now being used against it in the name of science, because obviously pseudoscience attempts to appear to be legitimate science, and it is taking our education system down. And I'm sick of it. I'm completely disgusted by it, and it makes me want to just completely give up, to bust my computer into the street and go put on a blood pressure cuff and just completely stop even trying, folks. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. We are going to continue to fight for reason and for the young people that deserve to have a chance to develop as human beings and to have the skills that we were all allowed to develop by having to face up to stuff that is tough and not automatically easy, and we were given the chance to develop perseverance and the appropriate manners and ways to handle ourselves. Folks, I am completely blown away by how bad of a situation we're in terms of the students, just these unbelievable, bizarre behaviors. You can tell where it's coming from if you ever interact with some of these monster parents. Folks, we have to start calling it out. We have to start calling it as we see it, as it is, and stop putting up with the bullshit from above. We have to make sure that teachers are once again restored with the respect that they deserve, and that includes from the bottom all the way to the top. Teachers deserve a level of respect like many other public servants get. I'm going to have to wrap it up for tonight, folks. I'm going to need the blood pressure cuff. We will continue the rants later in the week. For tonight, I'm going to go ahead and remind you, if you've enjoyed the content that we've been producing here, please support the channel, like the video, subscribe, and as we go through the rest of the week, as always, stay safe. And this is the Renegade Teacher signing off.